welcome to Let Freedom Ring. We continue to keep Soapy Pre-Op out of the studio. We continue to have we got a really good deal with the security this year. Like, I was surprised because we used to butt heads a little bit, but they seem to really be coming around, and they're keeping us safe from Soapy. Not that I'm even worried about that guy, but just in case, it's a show we're trying to record here. So, but my guest this week, making his third appearance, but first time in the studio.
Yes.
Rich Berklund, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dan. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, no. I know. I think when we first were going to have you on the show, we're in the heart of the pandemic.
Yep.
It first started, so we went online. And then the next time, I think you might have been exposed to COVID. I think we decided we went virtual again.
Yeah. It wasn't that. I think we just decided it was better.
Better, yeah. So glad to finally have you here.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm glad to be here. I've been looking forward to this. I keep begging to come on the show.
Yeah, no. Happy to have you. How have you been since the last time? I think it might almost be about a year since the last time you were on.
It's been good, dealing with the world the way that it is. But we got to play sports this summer and got back on the softball field and it just felt good. I've been all right. I mean, I'm old and I got to get a new knee and.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I'll still be out there this year hobbling.
All right.
Ain't nothing gonna keep me down.
No, I mean, softball, I think to a lot of us that play, it's important to us.
Yeah.
It's what keeps us going, and I feel like if you just worked every day and you had no other thing to do, it could get really boring.
Yeah, you gotta have that. You gotta have that outlet, and for me, that's what softball is. That's my outlet. It's my, one night a week that I get out and I get to go and hang out with, other people that I normally don't get to see, and then get the tournaments coming up and seeing more people that I don't get to see. So I really enjoy that.
Awesome.
I really do.
And I think we're going to talk about one of them in a second, but sure. The Heartbreakers must be coming up.
It is. It's the last weekend in February. The good news is we got a new website this year.
Okay.
My Social Sports got a new website. It's a little bit more tricky to navigate.
Yeah.
But it will be better in the end for everybody involved because, we can make schedule changes. You get notified right away when the schedule changes. You can add it to your calendar. So if when you get your schedule, it'll upload into your calendar for you. It's much easier to move games if we have rainouts and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah,
gets everybody notified.
Yes, much easier than waiting for it's going to rain. Let's go check Facebook. Let's go check our email. Yeah, once they make the decision, boom, it'll go out to everybody and can move on.
I wonder if there'll be a way to just text everybody, like a mass text,
someday.
It's got to be getting there because obviously Facebook's a great way, but if you just even
exactly.
And we had so much rain this year that you just almost predicted. You're like, yeah, I'm probably not playing tonight.
Yeah, if you're on a Wednesday night, you were praying not for rain. Yeah. There was a lot of nights that got rained.
And we're not saying to sign up for this, Justin, but the Heartbreakers, when is that?
Heartbreakers is the last weekend in February, which I believe is February 26th.
Yeah.
It's outdoors. It's out at the whatever they call it now. It used to be the Bedford whatever. The outdoor fields over there. 8 teams, and it's one of the most fun tournaments of the year because you don't know what the weather's going to be like. One year we had 2 feet of snow the night before. We were shoveling fields off. Yeah. The next year it was frozen. The year after that they plowed, and then it froze again, and we're driving cars on the field to break the ice down so people could play. And It's just everybody complains. We're not gonna do it again. We're not gonna play, and every year they just keep coming back.
I really want to do that this year because I've never done it.
Oh, it's a blast.
I think the one time I was signed up is when I had to have rotator cuff surgery.
Yep.
It was like, well, okay, so I finally signed up for this, and I can't do it. But I love the idea. Love that there's something to be said about playing in the winter.
Yep, and it's wood bat. Our wood bat guy.
Oh yeah.
I'm repping my wood bat guy. Mike Gallo, Barnyard Bats. He came out last year, again, to the tournament. Sold out every bat he had.
Really?
And then he was selling his merchandise. He had scarves and hats, and everybody was just. And he donated a bat last year.
Oh, really?
We did a bonus raffle for a bat, and of all people, do you know who won?
Was it Steve?
Nope, wasn't Steve. It was Melissa Amato.
Oh, Melissa Amato.
Yeah,
and that's who I play for in Maestro Sports. Yeah.
So I was yelling at her across the field, "Hey, Mel," and she's like, "Shut up!" So I run and I go, "Hey, you won." Yeah. She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell you."
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're gonna do that again this year, but definitely, we do the trophy bat. That's our trophy for the tournament. It's the pink and blue bat, and
Yeah, very cool.
It's a great time.
If you do play softball, be on the lookout for that. One thing I want to talk about that I think is great that My Social Sports does is the cold turkey, which is a fundraiser on top of being part of My Social Sports. How did that go? I was part of it. I was there. How do you think it went? I mean, did we raise a lot?
It was fantastic. We had 24 teams, as you know. Out of those 24 teams, 23 teams donated at least 200 food items.
Wow.
One team, one person, or two people donated over 800.
Oh, wow.
So we ended up giving, and this year our charity was Liberty House again.
Yep.
We probably gave them, our best estimate was over 5,000 non-perishable food items.
Wow.
So that it shows you that community, right? You get that community together. And this is our one time a year fundraiser. You know, we give back to the community, and everybody comes together and they bring food and we have a good time. And it's cold in the morning, it's beautiful during the day, and then it's wicked cold at night. But everybody's there, everybody's having a good time. You know, you can just see that they want to give back. You know, nobody ever balks at it and says, well, I'm not going to do that. You know, I think that's stupid. They love it. And of course, when you donate those foods, you get the gimmicks.
Yep.
Which are, to me, is what makes the whole tournament.
It is a lot of fun.
You know, it's, when you make, when you give somebody, and we always make fun of them and love them to death, Ramel.
Yeah.
Right? Little 5'2" guy. Okay, maybe 5'4". But you give him a T-ball bat and it looks like a normal bat in his hand. Or you give a big guy like, who was one of the guys this year? Just some big dude. He was like 6'3", like 280. And he hit that ball farther with a T-ball bat than most guys can hit it with a regular bat.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you steal a fielder and you have all and the gimmicks just bring everybody together and they're laughing and they're having a good time. And it just makes it fun until you get to the playoffs. And then when playoff time comes, it's serious time. It's like, who's going to play ball? And this year, the playoffs, they were phenomenal.
Yeah, they were great games.
Close. Every game was really super close. The team that won was, you might know this kid. He was the captain, Josh Lee.
I know Josh. We won the Sunday League together.
Yep.
Well,
his team was almost good enough.
Yeah.
That was the name of the team. And they played a team that won last year, Sandlot of the North, coached by, I can see his face. I can't remember his name. It'll come to me. And it was 9-8, and that was back and forth. It was a close game. It was a great game. And those are the kind of things that you want to see.
Yeah. As it gets later in the day, it is nicer to see those, like, you play your pool play, which is a blast.
Yep.
And you get into playoffs, everybody starts to get a little, you still should be just having fun, but they're fun games to watch.
They are. They're a blast to watch. And you get to see some great softball and some great decisions in coaching, lineups and, moving people around, because like you said, during pool play, it's more like, let's have fun. Let's see what we got. And then when you get to the playoffs, then you start really solidifying that, and you really start thinking about the game. But on top of it, people are still having fun.
Yeah. We
had people that played in Manchester that came down to Merrimack and hung out for the afternoon after they were done.
Yeah, that's what I love too. Is like, honestly, like when I get I've never got to the finals there, but I'm like, now I just want to watch.
Yeah.
It's just entertaining to watch, and I will say, like, Martell was starting to get a little choppy because I remember I went for a ball, it was a little muddy, and I almost face planted after. And I was like, I don't need this right now. But so much fun, and a great cause, and something that's really great. I was a little confused because at one point Steve's on the field. I didn't realize he was on Josh's team. I'm like, Steve, what are you umpiring now? He's like, no, I'm coaching third. I was like, all right.
He is by far the best third base coach that you can ever have.
Yeah, I definitely. I was a little confused by that, but and also they did the sweatshirts this year, which were awesome.
Yep.
Love those.
The white ones.
Yeah,
I got a couple of the white ones with the short sleeves. They call them the Bill Belichick ones.
Yep,
got a couple of those, and people they absolutely loved them. They went crazy when he posted them online and said, "Hey, we're doing these for sale," and people were like, "Okay, boom, boom, boom."
Yeah, because I always thought it was a cool logo. I was like, you should sell more of that stuff. You know?
Next year I think they're gonna do the turkey turkey logo with my beautiful face.
Oh, you got to. I think if you update it too every year, you're gonna sell more too.
Yeah, because it's something different.
Yeah.
Because then especially we don't do it, but if you put the date on it, like 2021, 2022. But yeah, we're looking at different logos too as far as tournaments go, just to kind of to bring it up and change it around a little bit.
Well, it's getting to the point that they're like becoming such an annual thing. Mm-hmm. And I think people really like that. Like they know, okay, you're gonna have the Heartbreakers in February. I love the Halloween Havoc. The Stars and Strikes have become
in July,
a big thing. Obviously, the Cold Turkey. So I think having those I'm a big tradition guy. Mm-hmm. So I love like knowing like, hey, in July we're playing in this.
Yep.
So I applaud that big time. Anything big coming up in the upcoming season? Anything you're excited about for 2022?
So 2022, starting this winter actually, we'll be playing out in Goffstown now as well. So they're opening their new dome out there. It's supposed to be open on Monday, I believe, is their first official opening. So we'll be playing out there as well. And you could literally have 4 softball games going inside that dome. Yes, it's huge.
Is this a brand new dome?
It's brand new.
Really?
They built the dome out in Hooksett, which you could do 2 games in, which was fantastic, which we have winter leagues playing there as well. And now they have the Goffstown Dome, which is even bigger than the dome that they put in Hooksett.
Oh, wow.
So you can literally get 4 softball games going inside there.
That's really cool. That'll be I'd like to see it. I went to the Sportsplex in Bedford. My niece was going there for soccer, and I hadn't been there since 2007. I think I played in a rugby tournament there, and was like, man, this is great. But it sounds like this is even bigger than that.
Oh, they're huge inside. Yeah, because I don't know. They used to play indoor like at Candia. Yeah. And you're playing on this really small field, 7-on-7. Well, here you're playing basically on a. Like, they're about the same size as West Junior Deb.
Yeah.
They're like 200 feet down the line. But you can get, like I said, you can get 4 games going in there.
That's great.
And you're playing on the turf. You're playing in this really cool, it's not cold. So we're able to bring winter ball back. Because a lot of people wanted to play winter ball. But, to pay $85 to play in Candia when you're in this tight, 7-on-7, it's 60 feet wide. It's not very wide. And then you're paying whatever they're paying now to go play in a full-size dome.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because the years I played, I've played, there was 2 Manchester places. They're pretty small.
Yep.
There was the MySoul Sports one that I think Gio ran a league, and then M ran a league in Tingsboro, but they're always just really tiny spots. Yep. But I've heard a lot of good things about what's going on this year. And obviously, it's tough because I think a lot of people, they get nervous about COVID and whether they want to come out or not, but it sounds like it's been a great thing this year. So
I can tell you those leagues, they have filled up. So they did one prior to the holidays out in Hooksett, full 8 teams. They do pickup nights. They were allowing 48 people, selling out. So yeah, people are worried about COVID, but the nice thing is in those domes, the air turnover is less than 20 minutes.
Oh, really?
So those domes, the air is recirculating in there better than pretty much any building you're going to go into.
Yeah.
Because that's how they stay, inflated and stuff. So it's they're really good people, and you're playing on the turf again, so you're able to keep your skills sharp going from outdoor to indoor and going back to outdoor, because you don't have to change your swing, because when you
the same way.
Yeah, because when you played in those smaller buildings, it was a lot more choppy.
Yeah.
You're chopping down on the ball.
It's a totally different game.
It is a completely different game.
Yeah.
It's like literally playing outside inside.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's very cool, and I've known a lot of people that have been happy to do that.
Yep.
So definitely have to check it out. And wow, I can't believe how many domes that we actually have in this area.
Yeah, they're getting more and more and more.
All right, well, I want to talk about something. Obviously, I'm rocking Mac Jones.
Yeah, I see that.
Patriots are back in the playoffs. Very excited about that after going 7-9 last year. 10-17, pretty much what a lot of us expected.
Yep.
Rookie quarterback. I know they spent a lot on defense, but we're in. We're in.
That's all that matters, right?
I want to get a little wild card weekend predictions here.
Sure.
But did you watch the Chargers-Raiders game on Sunday night?
I could not go to sleep because they kept talking. So I'm not a big Chris Collinsworth fan.
Yeah.
But I actually Sunday night, I was listening to him and I'm like, this is going to happen. This stuff is actually going to happen. Everything that he said was coming true. It's like, are you kidding me?
They're really going to tie.
That's what I thought. I was like, because I was watching the game and I'm like, all right, I'll go. I was getting ready to go to bed. I'm like, all right, I'll watch a little bit more of it. And I just kept watching. I'm like, I can't put this down. Because if they tie, Pittsburgh's out. Or it's the last game of the season, playoffs, all these playoffs, there's 3 teams vying for 2 spots. What's going to happen? What's really going to happen? And it was an amazing game. Amazing game.
I could not go to bed either. I was like, I guess I'm glad I stayed up for this, because at one point I was like, you know what? I've been watching a lot of Cobra Kai.
Yep.
So I was like, I'm just going to watch the Karate Kid, and then I'm going to go to bed. Then I went, this game ain't bad. What did you think of the timeout call that could have led to the possible tie? Because now they're saying the Raiders were just going to be like, all right.
We'll just play it out.
What did you think of that call? I mean, I didn't think much about it in the moment, and then I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
This isn't a good idea.
I honestly think that made that whole game, it shifted. Like, you could kind of tell when the Raiders got the ball back, right? San Diego goes down. They drive down. Not San Diego now. What are they? The LA Chargers?
Yeah.
They drive down. They get their field goal. They kick off. You could kind of see it in the Raiders. They were like, okay, let's just play this out, see what happens. They got that big run. They're moving the ball. They're not really trying that hard. Then that timeout. And you could just kind of see in the Raiders' offense, their eyes. It was just like something just clicked on. They're like, you know what?
You're giving us a chance here.
We're just going to take it.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people don't like David Carr. I'm a huge David Carr fan. I like that guy. I think he's got grit. I think he's tough. I'd love to see him quarterback on my team. So I'm glad to see that he got it.
Yeah, no, that was really, what a game. That must have been the game of the year to end the season. Like, wow.
Yeah. You couldn't have predicted that way it would have ended that way.
I honestly thought it was just going to be a boring type. Like I said, I was like, just rewatch it. Yeah, I feel I've been in a Cobra Kai mood. I'm just going to watch Karate Kid. And then
exactly.
Then I just didn't. I stuck with the game. So let's get into some predictions here.
Sure.
Because it is Wild Card Weekend. The playoffs are a little bit different now. And I can't remember if it was like this last year, but being the number 1 seed is very important.
Yep.
Because the 2 seed doesn't get a bye anymore.
Nope.
Number 1 seed coming out of the AFC is the Titans, so they will not be playing this weekend. But we got 3 AFC games here. First, we got number 4 Bengals, number 5 Raiders. What do you expect to see out of this? Who are you going with?
I'd like to see the Raiders win, but I think Cincinnati is going to run away from them. That Joe Burrow's kid in Cincinnati, he's phenomenal. And I think he's finally clicking. It's finally coming to him. I think they're going to win. I think it's going to be a blowout.
Really?
Yes.
See, I don't think I've sat down and watched a Bengals game all year. I just know the history of the Bengals just being, the Bengals. Like, never quite can do that. But I'm going to agree. I've heard a lot of hype. I'm going to go Bengals as well. Now here's the game that I'm most looking forward to. Obviously, number 3 Bills, number 6 Patriots. It's in Buffalo. It's going to be freezing. Tickets are going for $30 right now. Probably not the good seats, but I even looked at. I was like, do I want to drive to Buffalo? I've been to Buffalo twice.
Yeah.
It's a crazy place. But can the Patriots? They went to Buffalo during the season. They didn't throw many passes, if any.
Yeah.
What are you thinking in this game?
I think if Josh Allen can be the Josh Allen that we've seen, that Buffalo should walk away with it. But if New England can do what they did the last time they went to Buffalo, which was ran the ball effectively, they have a really good chance because New England has a great defense.
Yeah.
They have a really good. It's really solid. I think that's going to be their key is to not put Mac Jones in that spot where he's playing from behind and he's got to throw the ball a lot, especially. Yeah, I mean, they're supposed to get up to 2 feet of lake snow effect this weekend. So, I mean, that's a lot of snow, and it's going to be cold. It's going to be miserable. So you're asking a lot of that kid if you get him way behind. So if the defense plays well and they can run the ball like they did before, they could squeak out a win.
Yeah,
that could be the upset of the weekend.
I feel like, so Mac Jones is what? He's a 24-year-old, 23-year-old
He's a kid.
And they didn't let him pass in that first game. And then everybody's making the jokes, and the media is running with it. And I do believe, this is my personal take, it affected his confidence a little bit.
Yeah.
They didn't trust me to throw. Which, it was the best game plan ever for what the conditions were.
Yeah.
Why take the risk if the running game's when it is working all the time?
And Buffalo doesn't have a good run defense.
No, and the Buffalo players, I mean, when the media came at them, they were getting pissed. They're like, "We don't disrespect you. Why disrespecting us?"
Exactly.
Any score that you want to predict on that?
I think it's going to be low. I'll say
I agree there.
17-14.
Okay. I'm going to say 10-7 Patriots.
That's probably a pretty good call.
And can I say that I'm the most confident about this game? I really can't.
Yeah.
Obviously, the days of, having Tom Brady was a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as you're seeing, what he's doing even now at 44.
Yeah.
This guy is not real. We don't have him. So in a quarterback's probably the most important position in football.
Yeah. He's definitely the leader.
Yeah, it's insane. All right, we're going to get to the number 2 Chiefs, number 7 Steelers. Again, the Steelers just squeak right in. Who would have thought that Jacksonville was going to beat Indianapolis?
Yeah, the way that they did.
Like
it was convincing.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Before we get to this pick, what were you like? I mean, the Patriots annihilated the Jags the week before.
yeah.
I was at that game, just being like, all right, I'm just hanging out, drinking beers, just walking all over the stadium because it's just a blowout. Man, that's all they had to do was beat the worst team in the league.
Yeah, exactly. And my running back was the running back for Indianapolis, Taylor. And I was looking for him to, I was like sweating it because I'm like, hey, this is my fantasy. I want to win this championship. And they put up a stinker. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? And then they not only do that, but they take themselves out of the playoffs.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
Yeah,
I really can't.
I think what happened is they went into it with the same mentality that a lot of teams go into it, going, oh, it's just Jacksonville. They're 2-15 or 14.
Yeah.
It should be an easy win for us. And Jacksonville's like, you know what, we're going to play to win.
Our fans are dressed as clowns in the stands.
Yeah.
Because they're so disgusted with the product on the field.
Yep.
And these guys go out and beat the Colts.
Who was a good team.
The line the week before was, this is not a team you want to see in the playoffs.
Yeah.
To a team that didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Are you sold on Carson Wentz at all?
No.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I think Carson Wentz, to me, is like the guy, the Panda. What was his name? The third baseman.
Oh, that came to the Red Sox?
Yeah, who played for San Francisco.
I can't think of his name right now.
But I remember as the Panda.
Pablo Sandoval.
Yeah. Doesn't do anything in the regular season. Can't do anything.
Yeah.
Comes into the playoffs, has a wonderful playoffs. Signs a humongous deal, goes and plays with Boston. Again, can't do anything.
Yeah, that was horrible.
But when he's in the playoffs, he's a totally different individual. And I think that's Carson Wentz is the same way. He's not very good in the regular season. He's just kind of whatever. But you get him into the playoffs, and he's okay. But
yeah,
not sold on the kid.
And the Eagles are in, the Colts are not. And the Eagles actually get a lot out of that because the better that the Colts did, the more their picks went up. But Chiefs Steelers, what are you predicting? What do you got for a score?
34-10, Kansas City.
Saying that's how Big Ben ends
I think that's how he's going to go out.
Yeah.
I would hate to see him go out that way. I just don't think that they have anything for Kansas City. I think Mahomes he hasn't had his best year, compared to last year and the years before. But you can tell now that he's playing with a chip on his shoulder, and it's going to be tough.
I mean, for a minute there, we were all like, the Chiefs are done. That's it.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they woke up.
Yeah.
It's like you woke up a sleeping bear. But then again, if you can hold Kelsey and Tyreek Hill down, all they got, then they really don't have anything left.
Yeah. Be very curious there. I'm going to say Chiefs as well. How high do I want to go here? I'm going to say 24-6. They're going to win handedly.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what Big Ben can do in his he got to have his goodbye in Pittsburgh.
He did.
Another guy that really did play for a long time. Not quite Tom Brady-esque.
No.
But he's been '04 he was drafted, so it's kind of crazy that
He played he played with the same team, and he got hurt a lot more than Tom Brady did.
True. So,
and there was a lot more controversy around Ben.
A lot of controversy around Ben. I do respect the player. I don't know that's, we know the story. It's one of those things where you're like, a lot of people will post things on social media. It's like, I wasn't there.
Exactly.
I ain't going there with that. So,
but as a football player, as an athlete in the NFL, he was very good.
Yeah, I agree.
Very good.
NFC now. Number 1 seed, the Packers, who just seem to always, as a Bears fan, I know you're not a fan. Derek Brown is watching. I mean, he hates the Packers.
Go Derek.
I've always been, I always say this, I've never been a Packers fan. I loved Brett Favre.
I did too.
I hated him when we lost in the Super Bowl, but that game that he had with his dad, when his dad passed and he went off, I just always respected Brett Favre.
Yep.
But Packers are number 1 seed. Aaron Rodgers having one of the weirdest years, like a great football year, off the field, very weird year for him.
That's what makes it so hard. It's so unbelievable to me is that going into this season, he clearly did not want to play for Green Bay.
No,
it was very evident in his words and his actions. He did, and his look. I mean, even his whole look this year completely changed. Usually, square haircut. This year he's got long, stringy hair. If I were to see him standing on a corner, I'd probably give him $1.
Yeah.
Tell him go get a cup of coffee from Dunkin's.
Yeah.
So it's just a weird football season for Green Bay.
Definitely weird. I mean, and again, I just want everybody. He said he was vaccinated to the media. He never lied to the NFL about that, which I just want to point that out about that, because a lot of people were like, "Why did Antonio Brown get suspended?" I'm like, because he faked a card.
Yeah, exactly.
Aaron Rodgers' ass. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But he never gave fake documentation to the NFL. Number 4, Rams. Number 5, Cardinals.
I'm taking the Cardinals over the Rams.
They've had a great season.
They have. And the Rams put up a stinker in their last game. And I think that Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, they got something to prove. I think they're a really good team. And I think in the NFC, I think they're the team that's probably, to me, is the most scariest.
What do you got for a score?
I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be 24-20.
24. Okay. I'm going to say 17-14 Cardinals myself. Yeah. That Rams team has been hot and cold.
Yeah, they're either on or they're not.
Beckham came in, they just started losing. It was kind of funny.
He came, but he's still catching the ball and he's still scoring touchdowns.
And the Browns are done. So
exactly.
He made the right move.
Yep.
Here's what I really want to watch, because shout out to Lori Poulin. I hate the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my Lord.
And we know that Lori loves them and posts constantly about them. We have the number 3 Cowboys, number 6 49ers, led by former backup of the New England Patriots, Jimmy Garoppolo. What are you going here?
24-21 Cowboys. I think they're going to win.
Okay.
I hate to say that. I really do, because I am not a Dallas Cowboys fan. I have not liked the Dallas Cowboys since I was old enough to watch football.
No one really did, unless you're a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, I mean, Cowboys fans are, to me, they're like Patriots fans. They're just insane. Their team could go 0-16. They don't care. They're backing their team. We got the best team. You went 0-16. We don't care. They're just very rampant, and they're diehard. Their beliefs are incredible. I just don't. I don't think it's going to be a big scoring game. I think it's going to come down to, whether Elliott can run the football or not. I think that's where it's going to come down to.
I can't. I just can't pick the Cowboys. So I'm going to go 21-14. 49ers are going to go into Dallas, pull it out, and we don't have to listen to this crap anymore. Because I can't.
Yeah.
Win something. If they win the Super Bowl, I will say, Lori, brag all that you want. At some point, the Patriots are 6th seed this year, whatever. I can brag for a little bit longer because they're newer. Your Super Bowls are on VHS. Okay, so I don't want to hear. I don't want to. You're acting like this is present day, and it's too much to deal with.
Exactly.
We get the number 2 Bucks, led by Tom Brady. Antonio Brown's out of the picture. Number 7 Eagles, led by Jalen Hurts, who I like a lot, and I know a lot of people are very, because I was like, they got rid of Carson Wentz, and I was like, a lot of the Eagles fans were like, crapping on Jalen Hurts. And I was like, give the kid a chance.
Exactly.
What do you got for that one?
I think it's going to be a blowout, and I think it's going to be Tampa Bay. And it's probably going to be 45-17.
Okay.
Because Tom Brady's got his favorite target back. Evans is there, and he's still got his favorite target, Gronk. And with Fournette running the ball, that's going to be tough to beat. They're playing in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that place is going to be rocking.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Bucks. 35-7.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe 35-3. We will see. I'm pulling for the Eagles though. Yeah. As someone that I still love Tom Brady. I don't want to because I'm going to find myself probably rooting for him at some point.
Yeah.
But I want to say part of me is I'm sick of it. Because not with us.
As you well know,
yeah.
I am not a Tom Brady fan
yeah.
by any stretch of the imagination. I'm so tired of hearing the greatest of all time. He's got this many rings. I just kind of want the guy to go away. I would love to see Philadelphia come in and just mow him down and be done with him. I just don't see it happening.
I don't see it either. And don't get me wrong. And people are going to be like, oh, you turn. I still love Tom Brady. It's just that he's a Buccaneer now.
Yeah.
And I did cheer for once the Patriots were out last year. I was like, we didn't make the playoffs. All right, I'm rooting for Tom all the way.
Yeah.
Right now, we're in the playoffs. Screw you, Tom.
Yeah, until they're eliminated.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Any prediction for the AFC Championship?
I think the AFC Championship is going to be Tennessee, Kansas City, and I think Kansas City is going to take it again.
Yeah, that's hard to argue with. I see Tennessee getting eliminated. I do.
Well, Derrick Henry's coming back though.
Yeah, but he's
been hurt for a while.
He doesn't look like there was pictures, and I don't know because obviously my buddy Denzel posted a picture. He's like, look how skinny his legs are.
Yeah, but still though, that guy, he makes a huge difference because you can't take him out. If he's on the field, you have to pay attention to him.
Yeah.
He got hurt in week 8, and going into week 13, he was still in the top 3 rush leaders in the league. Yeah, I just think that if he's on the field, you have to account for him.
So I'm going to go, all right, so Patriots are the second to lowest seed, so they would have to play the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Chiefs, and I'm going to be a total homer right now, and I'm going to go Patriots. Let's get past Buffalo first. But I don't. Now, it's funny. On this show, and Justin, you might remember, I picked the Titans to win the Super Bowl. I don't believe in that team like I did back then. So, NFC Championship, any predictions there?
Yeah. Green Bay, Tampa Bay. And because of you can't count Tampa Bay. You can't count Tampa Bay out even though they're going to Green Bay. Because Tom Brady did play in New England. I think it's going to be Tampa Bay 17-14 going back to the Super Bowl, and we're going to see the same Super Bowl we did last year.
Wow,
Tampa Bay, Kansas City.
All right, I'm going to go with the Packers. Man, I'm looking at the seeding because the seeding really impacts this. So lowest seed would be the Niners. I picked the Cardinals. Cardinals would fall to the other side. I'm going Packers-Cardinals.
That'd be good. I'd love to see that.
So we'll see there.
I'd love to see that. And J.J. Watt's coming back too. He'll be playing on defense. So.
And I will say, I think the Super Bowl is Packers-Chiefs.
Probably a good call there.
I think that. I think the Bucs are going to run out of it. I don't know. It's just been so weird with them lately.
Yeah. But see, once you get to the playoffs, though, the season starts over.
It's true.
And you got a guy who's been there way more times than anybody else.
Who doesn't sweat it ever.
Nope. And he goes in with the same mentality that he always goes into. His mentality is, and that's one thing you got to like about him is, I'm going to win no matter what.
Yeah.
And he will, we saw it on TV. He was so mad when they lost that game. He destroyed one of the Microsoft tablets.
That was funny. The NFL warned him about that, too.
Yeah. But that's because, people made fun of him. Oh, he's like throwing a fit. I even said, oh, look, he's throwing a fit like a big baby. But he's so passionate about what he does. And he wants to be perfect. And That's just who he is.
Never see Jay Cutler do that. He would have been like, all right, yeah, I lost. Okay.
Exactly.
Any take, just speaking on the Bucs, about Antonio Brown's just overall behavior?
So I have to say, to me, it was very sad. It's very evident that Antonio Brown has serious mental issues. And to see a man like that, who has all the talent in the world, but he can't conquer those demons, is tough. Because I'm going to go out on my soapbox for a second. There's such a stigma today still with mental health and men. You know, women, not so much. But for a man, because we're men and we have to be the provider, we have to be the winner, we have to be the strong one, we can't show that mental weakness. And when we do, people make fun of us, so we don't show it. And we have to act tough all the time. And being somebody that has, you know, dealt with it in the past, you know, I'm not afraid to say, I'll go get counseling. I think that's what I think Antonio Brown hasn't hit the bottom yet to where he needs to go, finally will say, hey, I have a problem, I need to go get help. I think if he did that, I think then we'd see the Antonio Brown of old when he was with Pittsburgh. And he was such a phenomenal player. But it's obvious that he struggles. You know, it's very obvious. And it was sad to see him go out like that. It really was to me.
Seems like Tomlin was able to keep like his thumb on him.
Well, I think because Tomlin understood it better, and Tomlin is...
He's younger.
He's younger, and he's more of a hands-on coach.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to knock Belichick. He's a great coach. I mean, come on, the guy's won, you know, 1,000 Super Bowls almost. But he seems to me to be more hands-off and more like the old-school football coach where, you know, you fumbled, you're on the bench for a week. You're not playing next week. Where as some of the younger guys aren't that way, like Sean McVay, you know, they're more compassionate, and they go, okay, we understand. And Bruce Arians, you know, another old school coach, right? It's, hey, you screwed up. Hey, I told you to do something. You didn't do what I told you. Go away.
Yeah.
Is that the right answer? You know, we unfortunately, we don't know everything that was said. We're hearing two sides to the story. Somewhere in the middle lies the truth. You know, whatever that is. But I would like to see the guy get help because, you know, ultimately that's what you want.
Yeah, no, you know, the only issue I had is like, because someone brought this up, they're like, at what point is it not mental health and the guy might just be an a-hole? You know what I mean? Like, because I do feel like Tom Brady got him paid.
Yeah.
Tom Brady got him a job. Tom Brady gave him a place to live. Yeah. And he said, well, he's only my friend because I'm good at football. All right, maybe. Yeah. But he still did these things for you, and you're burying the guy. It's like, but again, that could be mental health issues too. I don't know. Yeah. Just real quick, just some COVID stuff because obviously Omicron sounds like everybody's going to get it.
Yeah, I just, I just think it's a matter of time. You know, unless you're wearing your N95 mask wherever you go, or you're not going anywhere and you're staying home. I mean, you know, I just think that it's going to happen. And hopefully if it does happen, that it's a very mild, mild or you're asymptomatic. Yeah, you have it, but it's not affecting you in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I do feel like Fauci is starting to get exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
Because people are just coming at him. I don't know if you heard the other day, Roger Marshall.
Him and Rand Paul, they were like,
I
thought they were going to throw down.
That's been going on for a while.
Well, yeah.
And I want to say one thing. I'm going to listen to Dr. Fauci because he's like 80 years old and he's still alive and looks great. So maybe this guy knows what he's talking about with health. But he got pressed by Roger Marshall of Kansas, a senator, who was like, I want to know how much you make. And Fauci was just like, it's public record. It's public record. He kept pressing. And then they're like, okay, he answered your question. And then Fauci goes, God, this guy's a moron. Jesus Christ, under his breath. Yeah. Do you think Fauci just had enough? Like, I've had it. Like, I didn't ask for a goddamn pandemic.
Exactly.
That's just the job that I was in, and I'm giving you my best educated knowledge on it.
You know, it's weird because, you know, like when it first started, he's like, wear masks. And then he came out and said, don't wear masks. But he said, don't wear masks because at the time, they weren't mass producing N95s. Yeah. And everybody was buying them. And people were stockpiling them. So he's like, you don't need to wear a mask. So that those masks could be available for the people that needed them, your first responders, your people in the hospital. And then he goes back to wearing masks. And people just live on, as soon as he deviates, one way or the other. They're like,
doesn't know what he's talking about.
Exactly. And it's like, you know what? I'm with you. That guy's 80 years old.
Yeah.
If I look that good at 80 years old, I'm going to listen to him.
Seriously.
I mean, you could call me an idiot, but you know what? I'm going to listen to the guy. If the guy says you need to wear an N95 mask, maybe that's a little much, but, if he says, don't walk on the left-hand side of the street, I might listen to the guy because he's got to know something.
And and he's trying to make predictions or things for the whole country.
Yeah.
He's not just going, well, if you live in New Hampshire,
Exactly.
the likelihood is, if you live in Boston, Massachusetts, or New York City, he's doing the best that he can. And it's like, these people are like, why should I? It's like, because here's the thing. All these years, Fauci's just in the background. No one knew who he was.
Exactly.
Now he had to come to the forefront because we had an actual pandemic.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, he's probably profiting off of something.
I've heard that too. He owns stock in this company.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I hate to tell you, but there's a lot of people in Congress that own a lot of stock in a lot of different companies. And, they come into Congress and they're making, I think it's like $165,000 is their base salary. But if you're making $165,000 and you own a house in San Francisco that's worth $8.3 million, you're not just living off of your government salary.
No, not a chance.
You own things. You own stock in companies. You might not even know that you do it because when you start making that much money, you got somebody that's managing your money for you. You have a guy who's like, you have some little nerdy dude with thick glasses, from Revenge of the Nerds sitting back there going, well, if I buy this, he's going to make this. And if I buy it, boom, come on. Let's just give the guy a break. He's doing everything that he can. I would not want to be in his shoes because he knows that every time he opens his mouth, they're going to criticize him.
All right, here's the video of Fauci saying, it's like, all right, a lot of times like people that just want YouTube clout, but then you have like people that I even know that I'm like, guys, what do you want from him?
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's doing
the best job that he can. And if you think that you can do better, feel free to go get scrutinized by the entire population of the United States.
Yeah. I will say, if you get the chance, because we just came up on the anniversary of January 6th, people walking into the Capitol building. Watch the interview with the QAnon shaman, and man, that dude has fried his brain. And you're like, this is how the conspiracy crap starts.
Yeah.
These people are zoinked. They're fried. Like the stuff he was saying, I go, this guy's done way too much acid. And he was admitting that he does acid. So
and it's amazing when So I was working from home that day, and when that happened, I'm not gonna lie, it made me angry.
Yeah.
Because as a veteran, as somebody who gave 20 years to this country to protect this country, to see that going on made me so pissed off at the world. And I looked at the country and go, what in the heck are we doing? Why are we imploding?
Yeah.
I'm all for protest. You want to protest? I'm all for it. You can walk down the street, sing your songs, beat your drum, do whatever you want to do. But that went too far.
I have to say, I think a lot of those people I'm straight up, they're tapped. They're tapped. They believe every little conspiracy theory that they hear. I mean, if you haven't listened to this interview with the QAnon shaman, if you got the time to do it,
go do it.
You're not going to learn anything like great, but you're going to see just how insane the mentality was for people going in on. And he hasn't learned his lesson. He's like, they made an example out of me. It's like, dude, you can't do that.
And then he gets arrested, and he's like, I'm a vegan. I need vegan food. You know what? You're going to jail. You're going to eat the same crap that everybody else eats.
This is jail.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's not a vacation.
It just this is the thing. It's just because there is so many conspiracies about Fauci and stuff, but where these things come from is like, my God, don't do drugs and learn how to critically think.
That right there, critical thinking is the key.
Yeah.
Because I have friends on both sides.
Yeah.
It's fine. And I see what goes on both sides, and it literally just like, it blows me away.
Take everything at face value.
Yeah.
As long as it fits your agenda.
Yeah.
That's the other problem, well, that article agrees, that meme agrees with what I believe, so I'm going to share that. And
Yep.
It's like it's
And down the rabbit hole you go.
Yeah. Real quick, I know you're a wrestling fan.
Yes.
Bruce Prichard's now. They got to answer him in NXT.
Brother love.
If you're Triple H, how are you feeling right now after all you did? And I like NXT 2.0. Don't get me wrong. That was Triple H's baby, and now it feels like it's gone from him. Any take on it if you were Triple H?
If I were Triple H, I'd be hurt.
Yeah.
Because you took this, NXT, know nothing, kind of like, to me, it was kind of like A-ball, for baseball players.
Yeah.
Guys who are good, but they're not quite good enough. So you're bringing them in, and you're hoping they get better so they can, move up. And Triple H took it from A-ball to triple A-ball, where he went out and found talent and saw talent and realized who had the talent and who didn't. Because he's been in the game a long time.
Long time.
So he's seen everything. He went from, he was part of the Attitude Era to this new family-friendly era. He's seen all that. So he knows. And he's a wrestler. He's a performer. He knows how to perform. So I have to think that he's let down. Like, he's like, it would be to me like you went in and you built a company from the ground up. And then you got to the pinnacle, right? And the person that you worked for said, hey, you did a great job. Now I'm going to pluck you, and we're just going to put you in obscurity. And I'm going to pick, hey, you, come here. All right, here you go. He built this. Don't ruin it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I have to. I mean, honestly, and I've been enjoying 2.0. Don't get me wrong, but like to take and after Triple H has his health issues, to be like you let go of all his guys except for Shawn Michaels, and you got rid of all his wrestlers. That's got to be rough for him.
Yeah.
I want to get into real quick, and we're in top fives, blank versus blank. Did you watch Cobra Kai?
I love Cobra Kai.
Okay. Any thought? Did you watch the new season?
I have only watched the very first episode.
Okay, so we're not going to go into Cobra Kai right now, but next time you come back, we'll have to talk about Cobra Kai.
Yes.
I love Cobra Kai. I've actually now rewatched the fourth season now twice. So, top fives. Do you have a top five favorite wrestlers?
So you made me do some research, my friend. This was tough because I loved wrestling and I loved the old school wrestling. So my top five, I couldn't figure out a number five. So my number five was Triple H,
Okay.
the Heartbreak Kid, Mick Foley, and the Ultimate Warrior. I couldn't figure out which one of those four were my five, so I just made them all my five. Number four, Hulk Hogan. I always loved the Hulkster. Even when he was gone, I still loved the Hulkster. And now he's back, so I love him again. And then there's Andre. I don't think there's ever going to be anybody like Andre the Giant. Then there's Mr. Ric Flair. I never liked Ric Flair growing up, watching him wrestle. I always thought he was kind of just a turd.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older and I've seen what he's done, it's phenomenal what the man has done and what he went through. And then my number one favorite of all time, it will always be, and you'll never change my mind, was The Undertaker.
Ooh.
Not as the American BA, but The Undertaker. The dead man. Just his music. The lights go down, and you're that first beat, boom. You know it's coming. You just know it, and you just feel it.
One of the best entrances.
It's electric.
Probably maybe the best entrance of all time.
Yeah.
Has to go to him. He just retired last year at Survivor Series, which kind of stunk because there was nobody in it was still the
COVID era.
What do they call it? The Thunderdome.
Yeah.
They got to do a little hologram of Paul Bearer, which was cool, but it just stinks that like the fans couldn't give him the proper send off.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have a top five comedy movies?
I do. So, Anchorman.
Yes.
Love
One of my
Anchorman.
favorites.
Blazing Saddles, which could not be made today.
Yeah.
They would never happen. Steve Martin and the Jerk.
Oh, okay. My parents love that movie.
Trading Places.
Yes.
And Airplane is number one.
Airplane is...
I
I didn't realize how much I quote that movie until I got older.
Airplane. To this day, I will go find it wherever it's at. I think it's on it's either on Netflix or Amazon Prime, and I have nothing else to watch. I'll watch it again because there's still stuff that I catch today.
That was like the premier parody movie.
Oh my gosh.
Obviously, Mel Brooks, I think, probably did ones before, but like that,
Yeah.
that knocked it out of the park.
Yes, I still watch that movie and I still laugh.
Yeah.
Because it's just pure comic gold.
I picked a hell of a day to quit drinking. I picked a hell of a day to stop smoking crack. Like I was,
Exactly.
Top 5 sports movies.
The Longest Yard, the original.
Burt Reynolds.
With Burt Reynolds.
Okay.
That was a fantastic movie. I could still watch that movie. Not such a big fan of the Adam Sandler version, but the first one, I loved it. The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke.
Yes, I own that.
That movie made me cry at the end.
It is sad because like it does
Yeah,
show you what can happen to the wrestlers after.
And he knew.
Yeah.
He like, I know this can happen. I'm going to go do it anyway, and you can't stop me. Rocky.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Can't have it without Rocky. Bull Durham.
Yes, that's my favorite baseball movie.
And number 1 is Raging Bull.
Okay.
2 boxing movies.
Yeah. You gotta, Rocky's unbelievable. I'm glad you have the Wrestler in there because that is like, that was such a well done film.
It was. I remember thinking when it came out, I'm like, this is going to be stupid.
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke from Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. That's always, whenever I picture him, I always picture him in that role. Is going to be in The Wrestler? Are you kidding me? This is going to be dumb. I was glued to that movie the whole time, like this. And then in the end, I was crying. I was like, are you kidding me?
That's
Seriously? I watched a movie about a wrestler who made me cry? What the hell's wrong with me?
And I mean, because a lot of times they do, I think it's getting better. But back then, you leave the business, you got nothing.
Yeah.
You're holding on, you're doing these indie shows. It kind of reminded me of Tony Atlas. Because Tony Atlas, there was a documentary on MTV, like showing how crappy his life was back in like 98. He's still doing, I don't know what he does for a living, but he's still doing the Weekend Warrior stuff, and he's got to be in his 70s.
Well,
so
Jake the Snake, when he left wrestling, he was destitute. And then DDP came along and said, I'm going to help you, whether you want me to or not. And he's made a comeback.
They actually just started a podcast together, Jake the Snake. And Jake the Snake can find, I believe, Lance Archer returned to AEW last night, so you should be able to see Jake there.
Awesome.
Let's get into some blank versus blank.
Sure.
Kenny Omega or AJ Styles?
Don't like AJ Styles, Kenny Omega.
Really? Not an AJ fan?
No, I'm not. AJ Styles to me is arrogant.
Okay.
Not a big AJ Styles fan. Never liked him.
Who's having a better rookie year, Mac Jones or Justin Fields?
Mac Jones.
Because Fields is the guy I wanted during that draft, and then the Bears traded up.
They did, and then he got hurt. And I don't think they gave him a really good shot, but they're getting a new coach and a new GM this year, so I think his sophomore year will be a lot better.
The Bears need to be up there because they are such a historic franchise.
If anybody from the Bears is watching, hire Brian Flores. Don't hire anybody else. Take the guy from Miami.
Horrible firing by Miami.
Yes,
Horrible
horrible.
firing. What are you thinking?
You lose 8, you lose 7, and you come back and you win 7, and not just win, convincingly win.
Sweeps the Patriots the day before, has a winning record, and he was fired. I woke up and being like, that can't be right.
Hire him.
The Rocket, Owen Hart, or Flying Brian Pillman?
Owen Hart.
All right. Both gone way too soon. Way too soon.
Tragically.
Yeah. And that's hard for me to even. That's why I'm the host. I don't have to answer it. The Iron Sheik or Sgt Slaughter?
I would have to say Sgt Slaughter. Although the Iron Sheik was great at entertaining, go back watching Sgt Slaughter before he went to the other side, before he turned heel.
Yeah.
You just stood proud when you watched him wrestle.
Yeah.
Because everybody in the world was watching Sgt Slaughter.
I gotta say, I was so confused as a kid because when he turned, when I first started watching wrestling, he was the Iraqi sympathizer.
Yeah.
Like, I never knew him before that.
Yeah.
But then I turn on G.I. Joe, and he would be the host of it, the All-American. And I was like, wait a second, I don't get it. I thought he was.
What are we doing here? Yeah.
Why is he on G.I. Joe being this good guy? I don't understand.
Exactly.
The Macho Man Randy Savage or the Ultimate Warrior?
Oh, that's a tough one, dude.
2 Hall of Famers.
So I would have to say the Ultimate Warrior, just because of the energy that he brought all the time. And I watched a documentary on him, and that was sad. It was very sad.
He went out the way he probably thought he was. His dad died in his 50s of a heart attack.
Could you imagine getting put in the WWE Hall of Fame? And the next day.
We have him right here. This is the next day right here, the Ultimate Warrior figurine. He dies 2 days later.
2 days later, yeah, walking out of his hotel.
Yeah.
Massive heart attack gone.
I never thought we were going to see him on WWF TV ever again.
I didn't either.
And then they said to put him in the Hall. I went, oh my God, yes. You got to have the Ultimate Warrior in the Hall of Fame. I don't care what people think of it.
Personality,
He was huge.
Oh, yeah, he was gigantic.
You know, to say in his last promo, every man beats, their heart beats their last beat, but it depends on what basically the mark that I can't.
Yep.
And then he dies 2 days later. I go, this can't be real.
Yeah.
And I was just on Twitter, and Triple H had posted. I went, no, come on.
Yeah.
After all this, he gets to the Hall of Fame and he dies.
Yeah.
So, and I know he wasn't the best human being in the world, but I think Jim Hellwig was a very conflicted individual.
Yes.
And
if you watch his documentary, you'll see that.
yeah.
You'll definitely see that.
Because they did Dark Side of the Ring on him.
Yeah.
WWE did a burial one on him one point, but then there was the A&E.
The A&E one is the one I
him.
just watched.
So
It was very well made, and it really took you in behind of what was really going on with him.
yeah, he was a very conflicted guy, and he had his issues, but
Yep.
I loved him as a performer. 2 more real quick.
Yep.
Would you rather play squish ball or hardball?
Hardball all day.
I do like that Friday night on the West End because it's such a smaller field.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't do it any other way, but it's like a nice little I like playing on Friday. I mean, I went more towards church ball this year, but I do enjoy it.
It's relaxing.
Yeah, just go out and have fun and whatever.
Yep.
All right, toughest one in blank versus blank. 2 siblings. Anthony Amato or Melissa Amato? Melissa Amato.
Okay, so I'll put a caveat to this. I love Mel to death. I really do. We didn't really start out getting along very well, but we get along fantastic now. But I'll say Aunt Amato because when I first came to New Hampshire, I Googled softball, found my social sports, signed up as a free agent, didn't know anybody from anybody, got put on a team with Aunt and Linda, and they made me feel so welcome.
Nice. Yeah, they're great.
Every time I see them, Linda comes up to me, has to give me a hug. Aunt has to give me a hug. They're probably 2 of my most favorite people I've ever met up here. So, sorry, Mel. Love you to death, but I love your brother just a little bit more.
And Let Freedom Ring is a big fan of both Amatos.
Yes.
Still want to get Melissa in the chair. She hasn't done it yet. Anthony's been here. He faked a stroke on set. But anyways, Rich, I really appreciate you coming back. This has been a blast.
Love it.
3rd time on the show, so we're big fans of Rich here. But until next week, again, we're saying get vaccinated. If you're asked to wear a mask, wear a mask. Have a great week, unless your name's Soapy Pre-Op. But until next time, let freedom ring.